Me. How do I sound? Um, yeah, let me just actually go here and tell myself how I sound. Uh, okay.
The Ridgeway Review with Just Dapper starts right now. Milton's release sparks a new addiction in the heart of the city, gambling at the Ace Casino. The Governor's Manor, also known as the Racine Estate, has been released. A protest for higher trucking wages at the Racine Estate turns bloody. Key legislation passed in last night's Senate session, but will Governor Matrix sign it? Find out what he thinks and what Senator Toxiesps thinks as well. The Ridgeway County Fire Department opens applications. Watch an exclusive interview with FD Chief within Code tonight. And now, live from the Palmer Times studio in Palmer Ridgeway. It's the Ridgeway Review hosted by Just Dapper.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Ridgeway Review. I'm your host, Just Dapper, and welcome. Welcome back. It is so great to have you all back in this lovely community. With that, let's get right into the news. Milton City has released, and with that, a new addiction is striding Ridgewayans, causing some to lose it all.
This is the Racine Junction. This is the Ace Casino. Since last Friday night, when Milton City has released, it is highly likely that you or someone that you know has found themselves here. It is also likely that you or someone that you know has an addiction to gambling in this place. This is what we have come to. Not only regular civilians go there, though. People on their jobs, like SPS delivery drivers and police officers, even come all the way to Ace to go gamble while on the clock. On January 12th, Timbowalk wrote an article about the Ace Casino, which you can read in Newsfeed. In this article, Asger FR Handicap told Timbowalk that he lost $50,000. Red Triumph told Timbowalk that he lost his entire home due to this addiction. What is even more crazier is that neither of these individuals believe they have an addiction.
Absolutely crazy. Some lose it all, while some are lucky to make it with a quick buck. This casino is popular among tourists and employed persons alike. Self-proclaimed Brazilianaire Asger Handicap, as mentioned in the video, told Timbowalk he lost 50 grand. Avid gambler Red Triumph reports that he had sold his home and lost it to support his bets. Despite this, both of these individuals claim they have no addiction. Alright, unfortunately we were not able to have MCPD Chief Daniel Reagan live on set today. However, we do have a pre-recorded interview with him. If you would like to watch that, it is being uploaded and you can find it on the Palmer Times YouTube channel. We are now going to cut to our on-scene correspondent, Lex.
Milton was a big project for the developer
Ace
oversight,
Casino,
and
as we
this
speak.
community in general. Everyone wanted to see the release of this department come out, and the city itself come out. So I think
I have been told
this
that
is the
Lex
Racine
20 Disc has
Junction.
been shot.
This
He
is
no
the Ace
longer at
Casino.
the Ace
Since
Casino.
last Friday night, when Milton...
Another thing, frequent target of shooting. A lot of people just take advantage of the cash-heavy environment, and they really just pirate off of other people's winnings. You got to be careful when you're there. They'll kill you and take your money right after you jackpot, and you think you've won it all. Anyways, folks, next part, the Racine Estate. It is a new military installation where the governor and his staff operate from. The manor features a visiting wing for the press, offices, and lavish accommodations to live like a true statesman. On Monday night, several Tuckers took advantage of the new location and stood outside protesting Matrix OC.
Milton was a big
we'll now
project for
cut to
the
a video
developer oversight,
explaining more
and
about
this
this.
community in general. Everyone wanted to see the release of this department come out, and the city itself come out. So I think the main factor in me transferring to the Milton City Police Department.
The Racine Estate is a military installation that is also the home of the Ridgeway governor. The home features a visiting side for the press and offices, and also has the home for the governor. On Monday night, several truck drivers drove to the front of the Racine Estate and protested against Matrix OC because they believe they are not being paid enough, and they believe the governor can change the prices of trailers set by developer oversight. But let's say he could. He would still have to get this passed by the Senate in order for it to be the law of the land. On Monday, Governor Matrix responded to the protests by saying LOL, and then encouraged law enforcement present to arrest them all, although they could not unless they committed an actual crime. Rathusen, a key demonstrator, said, quote, "If changes aren't made, we are aimed at taking the governor down. Taking the governor down can be interpreted however you want, but it is clear that they are not fans of the governor."
All right. In other words, the Ridgeway County Fire Department is one of the few departments to benefit from the Milton update. With the update, they have received a brand new fire station in the city of Milton. With this, they have released applications for prospective firefighters. With us now is Fire Chief Within Code. Within Code, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you for asking. Let's get to the questions. How have operations been at the new station in Milton?
They're pretty good so far. We're still figuring out the logistical back end of who's going to be running what, and obviously with two stations, we have to decide when we're going to be splitting our force between two different stations. But for now, it's going pretty well as we're figuring out these steps early on. We also picked our number for the station, and it is Station 12.
So Station 12 is the official name.
Within our documents, yes.
All right, great to hear. Well, applications are opening again. What are you looking for in this next round, and how many people do you plan on accepting?
We're looking for, as always, people who are interested and dedicated to the goal that we have, which is to serve the community, whether that's putting out fires or helping people with medical situations. We're looking right now to accept about 30 people into the department, which we feel is a good line for where we're at and how many people we need to continue operations, especially with the new Milton station, meaning that we kind of need to have more people to be able to run more calls out from 2 different stations as opposed to 1.
Right. Change to the medical procedures in the state actually occurred just before the game died. Do you hope to fill up the medical units with this change in the law?
This has been an ongoing effort from, sourced the original fire chief up to through Matthew, then Donnie, and then me. We've all kind of tried to operate in the space of the medical world as it is, because obviously we do not have developer support or mechanics for it right now, so we're operating with what we have. But as of right now, I'm happy with where our medical system is at. I have full faith that MERP 59 is able to handle the duties of the delegate for the medical board, for the fire department. And yes, we're looking for people who are looking, with our new applications, we're looking for people who are interested in the medical world, and we'd like to have them fill our positions if possible.
Amazing. And just across the street from FD, recently constructed is the new clinic. Do you plan on using that with your medical units now that it's been added?
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to having more places to drop people off with our ambulances and stuff like that. Obviously, as there's no medical system in game, and there's really no point into having deep hospital roleplay stuff. So usually our medical roleplays end, if you've ever had one of those, they usually end with us just dropping you off at the hospital, and it's always great to have new positions or new places to take people to after these medical calls are over.
Do you plan on continuing them instead of just simply dropping them off at a primary care facility now, however?
As of right now, we do not have any plans to continue them, as we are the fire department, first responders, what would be, paramedics and EMS, rather than, hospital staff. That if we've looked into and we have the systems in place for if people want to start their own corporations and want to run their own medical facilities and stuff like that, we do have medical licenses that you can get. If you register a business and you want to be a medical one, you have to go through us to make sure you can get it, have a medical license for your business. But we are completely open to if a company starts up that wants to act as a hospital or something like that, we're good for that. But as the fire department, we do not have any plans to continue roleplay after we drop them off at the hospital.
All right. Also, there is a new Ghostbusters station found in Milton. How do you plan to work with the Ghostbusters in liaison to their new facility right near yours?
Well, we're sure to report any sort of ghosts that we find on scenes, anything like that. We really respect what the Ghostbusters are doing, and gotta make sure that we know that they're not afraid of any ghosts, so we make sure to call them if there's anything going on.
Right. With a new year, there's going to be a new firefighter calendar, right?
Yes, actually, it has already been posted in the Firehouse in our Discord channel. If you want to find that, I don't know if you want to post that in one of your platforms that you do, but if you go to our server and you find the channel called the Firehouse, it's available to everyone. It is pinned, and it was just recently posted. So get that if you want.
I really like the month of June. Oh my God, July. Okay, wow. We can show that? Okay, wow, we can show that. Yeah, absolutely loving it. Love what you're doing here. Keep up the good work. Oh my God. Back on track. Recently a whopping 3 firefighters were cited on team and an additional was arrested. one of these firefighters was one of your own internal review board members. How have you reacted to this?
This has been a situation that was ongoing for a while, and at this point, we believe we have it resolved. I'm not going to be naming names, but there was a specific individual who had been the the citer for all of these incidents, and we've talked to them, and we've got the whole thing sorted out. It was a bit of a misunderstanding.
Right. The DOJ recently re-released a memo from the previous administration about not arresting or citing fellow public servants. Did that have anything to do with this?
I am not really at liberty to discuss anything about that with the background and the DOJ and stuff like that. I did not personally have anything to do with that.
All right. Well, it's been a wonder to have you today, and if you have anything else to say, let the audience know.
Make sure to apply to the fire department if you're interested in that. We have a lot of positions, and we look forward to anyone who has the drive to do it.
All right. Thank you for having well, thank you for being on here rather. Sorry about that. Next part of the segment rather, last night the Senate convened for the first time since the game's re-release. Here's some of the key legislation that has been passed. First off is S7-45, written by Sourced V. The Protester Permit Act. It requires groups that want to organize to get a permit from the chief of police of said city they want to protest, or the colonel of the state police if it is outside of city limits. On the more controversial side of things is Senator Toxie Easy Peasy's Project 2025. It is a bill package with some things including but not limited to the Toll Evasion Act, which makes it a fine for failing to pay the toll of the Dularge Bridge, the Port Authority Jurisdiction Act, which outlines the jurisdiction for the up-and-coming department that has not yet been released. Lastly is the RCTA Bus Lane Protection Act, adding an array of crimes against ARCTA, originally written by Senator Timbowalk. If you drive in a marked bus lane, you can expect to get a ticket. Several laws that require additional examination have been remanded to the judicial community, one notably being S7-45, the Toll Reduction Act. Since Milton has released, one thing has been clear and been getting complained about. The thing is the price of the price of crossing the Dularge Bridge. If you're coming from Palmer, the quickest way to Milton, however, round trip is going to cost you a hefty $500. S7-45 proposed lowering the toll to $100, however, Senator Sourced_V ultimately voted to remand it to the Judicial Committee, where all 4 senators present voted unanimously to do so. They say high tolls are inflationary by nature. I, by one, am in agreement with this. I think it is absolutely unacceptable that the toll to get into the largest municipal center in our community costs the same as a cheap car. I could go to You Buy Car Now in Sterling dealership and buy an entirely new Percival with that money. Absolutely unacceptable. Well, straying away from the economic side of things, we have Senator Toxie Easy Peasy. Toxie, how are you doing today? Toxie Easy Peasy, how are you today? Oh. Well.
Hello, hello.
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Let's just get into it. How do you think last night's session went?
I don't think many of the senators really knew about the bills that we were going to be voting on beforehand, but I kind of pushed this session because there's a lot that we had to pass before our term kind of ended. So, especially with the toll reduction, the Port Authority, there's a couple things that we needed to get established beforehand so that the next Senate's not going into Milton with really nothing.
Right. Would you say the Senate is ill-prepared and just not ready for the game to come back?
I would say that the Senate's still kind of moving into activity again. It's kind of been like the same pattern with a lot of departments. We're kind of easing back into it. Uh, there's not really a lot going on. I mean, I guess the release of Milton's a pretty big thing, but uh, Senate-wise, a lot of it's already been covered, especially with some of the bills I've been writing in the acts. So I'd say Milton's pretty much covered for right now. Jurisdiction. One thing I'd like to clear up while I'm on here. The Milton City Police Department has, come into my DMs saying that they have statewide jurisdiction and that there's really no act for it.
Um,
But
who exactly?
anonymous. We're gonna keep that
Oh
confidential
no,
because
no, I'm the detective captain. Who? I'll have a
uh,
word with them.
well, this would put your department into some pretty high heat because it is a pretty high-profile figure in your department.
A high-profile figure. So, command.
Yes, very, very high command. Probably one of the highest commands out there.
Hmm.
Very, very high. We'll just leave it there. Very, very high.
Well,
But
you got it's a hint.
yeah, he has gone through a lot of name changes. That's the last hint.
And he's got name changes. Okay.
I can't say much past that, but he came into my
Alright,
DM saying that Milton basically or MCPD had statewide jurisdiction, and I had to clarify that. There's an act made by I think the first Senate that establishes the Milton City Police Department's jurisdiction. So just clearing that up, it exists. I did not have to write an act for it.
I suppose I'll take your word on it. Project 2025. Tell me about it. How do you think it's going?
I don't know what you're talking about. Project 2025. I've heard a little bit of this and that about it, but honestly, I think there's some good ideas, some bad ideas, but
Well, you're the one heading this project.
where's the proof of this? Is there
Okay.
any proof?
There is, I just don't feel like getting it.
I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna send a picture into your DMs, kind of proving you wrong here.
Okay, okay.
Give me 1 second. Actually, I'll send it to Mr. Timbowalk so he can display this onto his stream. Here we go. And I'll send it to you as well. This is me explaining. It is not me.
Okay.
Not me.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Okay, here you go. Here you go. Sent. Not me.
This is an ugly photograph.
That is not me. I have no idea what Project
Okay.
2025 is.
Yeah.
Project 2024, I heard a little bit about
Okay.
that too.
Right.
But
Back on track. Do you have faith in the governor that he'll pass these laws that have passed the Senate? You think he'll sign them in?
if he realizes that the Senate's still active, I'm not too sure what the governor thinks going on. Like, I'm not sure what he's thinking right now. He kind of relieved one of our senators from his duties, even though the term's about to end, and made him attorney general. So I don't really know what's up with that. This same Adam Stratton figure was also selected for the Senate way back by the governor. So, I mean, I'm not too sure what's going on with the governor right now. I have faith that he'll probably pass it, but other than that, I can't really
Stratton-
speak much on that.
Adam Stratton is the self-proclaimed chief election rigger who was on the Palmer Times not too long ago when we did our election broadcast. Do you suspect that he and Matrix are conspiring and working together? Do you think that
I-
there's something corrupt going on between them?
Well, I think putting Adam Stratton into this position is a very big power move, especially by Matrix. The only thing I can really back this up with is he was selected for the Senate before by Matrix. So, I mean, that'd give Matrix some pretty big power right there, having that attorney general seat basically inside of his administration. So, But I think Matrix is a good dude. But I don't know. It's a little suspicious. It's a little suspicious.
I don't think he's a good dude. Anyways, um, what else you helped to accomplish this term? It's coming to an end. Elections are happening soon.
Well, I'm still taking act ideas. You can come into my DMs if you're listening. Uh, Send me some ideas and I'll do my best to write it up in legislation. But other than that, I don't really have many other plans right now that come to mind. I guess just finish out this term. I'll run for re-election most likely if nothing really gets in my way. But right now, I think I pretty much did my job. I established a lot of the features in Milton. Uh, Unreleased department, the Port Authority. So Milton's pretty much set right now.
Uh, all right. Well, I got something. The session last night, we didn't get quite finished with that. Tensions were high. I mean, senators got up out of their seats and walked around the room. People were arguing, and some senators, such as Adam Stratton, simply failed to vote on numerous occasions. Do you think the Senate is declining in competency? Do you think that there's just not something working out there? Do these
Well,
group of delegates find themselves?
I don't think that necessarily our competency is declining, but you also do have to keep in mind this was our first session in several months. So maybe forgetting how the votes work. I mean, yeah, that happens. A lot of other departments had some of their own issues. Maybe remembering a code or two, but with the Senate, there's a lot more rules. So I guess we could work on it a little bit, but I don't think that we're declining in competency at least. I'll also add this too. The Senate was very impatient last night. Um, they wanted to get the session over with. It was a late one. I pushed for it because I wanted to get all of these acts passed. But we got the job done at the end. So other than that, I think the Senate's pretty much good for right now.
Right. And before we end on the economist side of things, would you like to comment on some of the bills, such as the Toll Act and how it's been remanded? Several audience members are thinking, why the Judiciary Committee? Why the remandation? What do you have to say about this? And what is your opinion on the bill overall?
The Toll Reduction Act. Let me see.
Yes, that one.
I don't recall that being remanded to the Judiciary Committee. That's probably an error.
The clerk was brand new. That's right. That was
Yes.
another point of interest from last night. A lot of
Yeah.
drama there.
I can tell you which ones were remanded to the judiciary. Let me see. We got S746, Senior Status for Judges Act. Basically renaming administrative judge to senior judge. Yada yada. What's the other one? The Higher Education Act, establishing Milton University. That one was failed because it makes
I am taking a look at the Senate Trello, and S7-45 was in fact remanded to the Judiciary Committee, and you are the one who seconded this.
Oh yeah. No, I'm in the Judiciary Committee. I'm not gonna lie, there was a ghostwriter for this one. This kind of just flew into my office, and I was like, you know what? I'll let the Senate give it a chance. But after a couple of things were pointed out in last night's session, I don't think it's a bad idea to have it remanded to the Judiciary Committee to have a second look. So,
Who ghostwrote this bill?
a ghost. Well, he does not exist. We got to keep that on the down low.
Okay. Well, that's going to be all from me. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience before we conclude for the night?
I'm gonna be running for the next election. You know, vote for the best senator, the most active. Uh, Project 2025 is not real. Project 2024 wasn't either. That's about it. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we did plan to have Matrix on for an interview about
The Ridgeway Review with
things
Just
that are
Dapper starts right now.
in the state.
Milton's
However, I
release
do not
sparks a
think
new
this is
addiction
going
in
to
the
be happening, so unfortunately, we are going to be ending for now. Thank you for watching the Ridgeway Review tonight. Be sure to tune in next week at the same hour for another edition. Also, be sure to check out our articles that we post, well, try to, on a daily basis. We appreciate it a lot, and we'll see you next week.